Hey guys, this is Teresa Foster here and welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm super excited. I'm filming in my room. So, yep, that's my bed, my robes. You can see everything, but bear with me. So yeah, I'm filming in my room. I don't have super fancy equipment or anything like that, but I'm just kind of doing this for fun. One thing that I've noticed during this crazy quarantine and pandemic is that makeup has been really fun to do to pass the time and just play with. If you want to see me create this makeup look with all my favorite products, go ahead and keep watching. So in my makeup routine, I actually don't wear foundation, which means I don't prime either. I was blessed with a pretty good skin. I have a few blemishes right now, but that's pretty rare for me. So I like working on just the base I already have. So the first thing I do is I'm gonna moisturize, and this is the Pink Glow, or the Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. So I'm just gonna put one squirt of that. I'm gonna rub it all over my face. Okay, so I did my brows off camera because I think brows are kind of boring, and also like different people have different brow routines just depending on your brow shape. And I don't do anything super special for my brows, so I will say what I use though. I use the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Hazelnut. And then I put a brow gel on. And this is the CoverGirl Professional Natural Lash. So usually this is for your eyelashes, but I use it as brow gel and it's really nice. It locks my brows in place really well. So the next part of my makeup routine, I'm going to color correct because I have a few blemishes down here. And this is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, the green color corrector, because green is going to cancel out any redness. And I'm going to use my finger to tap that in a little bit. So before I put any concealer on, I'm actually going to prime my eyelids first. And this is the NYX Professional Makeup Eyeshadow Base in the shade Skin Tone. So I just take a dry beauty blender. This is a really cheap one from the Dollar Tree. And I just pat that on my eyes. So the next part of my makeup routine, I'm going to conceal. And I have a lot of favorite concealers, but the one that I've recently been using every day is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer, and this is in the shade Fair. They don't have a lot of shades in this, but it's very lightweight and it blends out really nice and pretty. So that's what I'm gonna use today. So I'm just gonna take this over the color corrector. So next, I'm going to put this under my eyes, and I only use a little bit. That's it. With these full coverage concealers, a little bit goes a long way, so that's why I only use a little bit. Now that that's all blended in, I'm going to set it with some setting powder. My favorite setting powder is probably the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and this is in the shade 05 Fair. So this is what it looks like. So when I put powder under my eyes, you're going to see I take it all the way up to here, and that's because I'm going to do eyeshadow next, and I'll explain to you in a minute why I take it up so far. So just dipping dipping into that powder, putting it right, I'm gonna stamp it, not right at the waterline, but a little bit below. And I'm gonna make a little V. So the reason I take it all the way up here is because I'm gonna do eyeshadow next. So this is gonna catch any fallout, or like if you like start blending out here, that way it doesn't like come down super low, and it's gonna create that nice straight line for you after you dust it away. Okay, so I have a lot of favorite eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow is my favorite step in my makeup routine. So if I had to pick, I definitely couldn't pick one, but I could pick a brand. ColourPop is by far like my favorite eyeshadow ever. They have such cute products, and they're really good quality and really affordable. So those are my favorite. So today, the thing that I'm using is actually something I've never used before. I just ordered it off of Ulta. This is the All Things Equinox palette. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's very cute. Then you open it up, and this is what that looks like. Very like mauve-y and purples. So I'm really excited to play with this today because ColourPop eyeshadow never lets me down. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm taking this big fluffy blending brush. That's what it looks like. And this is the Farrah brush in the 35E Farrah brush. So I'm gonna dip into the shade Stellar in this palette first. It's that really pretty like lilac mauve shade. So we're gonna dip into that. And we're going to put this in the crease, and typically in the crease you want to put matte shades in the crease, so I'm just going to dip in really lightly into this palette, and I'm going to pack it in here first. So I'm just packing this in my crease, and then I'm going to use windshield wiper motions to blend that. And then I'm going to use little circular motions. You don't need to put a lot of pressure on the brush when you're blending. Just like really light movements. Now I'm going to go in with a smaller like tapered blending brush, kind of a packer blending brush. So it looks like this. This is a BS small brush. It doesn't like have a number of like which one it is. It just came in a pack. I ordered them from Amazon. You don't always need like super fancy brushes. These ones work really well. So I'm gonna go into the shade Alter Ego. That's this shade down here. So I'm just putting just a little bit on my brush. I like to tap off the excess so you don't have like too much pigment, because it's better to just go in a little bit at a time and build it up, because if you put too much on, there's no going back. So I'm just gonna stamp this first on like my outer V. And then taking it in just a little bit and blending it into this outer part of the crease and the outer part of my eye. So now, just to make sure that everything is blended out, I'm going to go back to this big fluffy Farrah brush, and I'm just going to do circular motions in my crease and my outer V just to make sure everything's nice and super blended. So since I'm done with my crease and my outer V, I'm going to wipe the powder away now, since I don't really need it anymore. So I'm just wiping it away. And you can see I have a really nice straight line here. Creates that shape perfectly. So Now I'm gonna go into a shimmer shade. So I always say shimmer shades are for the lid and your inner corner of your eye. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go into the shade Moonrise in here. That's this middle, purpley shimmer shade. So I'm gonna take that. And I'm just using, this is another BS small brush, and it's just like a flat packing brush, like that, rounded at the top. Just going in with that. And then this is my Morphe times Jeffree Star setting powder, and I like to dip into the shimmer shade and then give it a little spritz. And then go right into my lid, and I'm just gonna focus this more on the center of my lid because I'm gonna put a different color on the inner part of my lid. So I'm just taking it, and you don't want to go above your crease too much. You can go a little bit over, but so I'm just packing this on the inner part of my lid, or the middle part of my lid, my bad. And that's super pretty. Okay, so now I'm thinking I want to add like kind of one of these like goldish, gold kind of shades in here, so that it's not all purple. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go in with the shade Infinity, right, this top shade right here, and I think I'm gonna put that in the inner part of my lid. So again, just dipping into that metallic and then giving it a spritz and then packing that on the lid. Oh, that's really pretty. That's super pretty. And I'm just kind of blending that really into this second shade. Just doing like little soft pats to blend that together. So I'm taking another BS small brush. It's kind of like a flat-ish packing brush, a little fluffy. Looks like this. I'm gonna go back into the shade Stellar. That's the first shade that I put on my lids. So that's this lilac shade right here. I'm just gonna dip in really lightly into my pan, tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna go right in on my lower lash line and just buff and blend that out. So I'm connecting it into the outer portion of my eye and doing it right below my waterline. And I'm just kind of using like back and forth motions to blend that together. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to dip into Alter Ego, which is the shade I'm wearing on my outer V. So this darker purple over here. And I'm going to just put this on the outer part of my lower lash line so that way the colors connect together. You want to make it connect and just kind of look all like one. So I'm going to dip a little tiny bit into that shade, tapping off excess, and just focusing this on the outer part of my lower lash line and blending it right up into that outer V. Alright, so that's the lower lash line all done. Next part, I'm going to do my inner corners, like right there. And you typically want to use like a highlighting shade for the inner corners. You don't always have to, but that's typically what you use. So I'm going to go into this shade Kindred. It's the first lighter shimmer shade in the palette. So I'm just going to dip into that. I'm using another BS small brush, and this is just like a tapered inner corner brush. So I'm just dipping into that, spraying my setting spray over it, and just going to put this right on the inner corners. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do some eyeliner, and I think I'm going to go with a kind of gold shade today. So this is the Avon True Color Glimmer Sticks Diamond Eyeliner in the shade 24 Karat. And I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to start on my outer V. And then when you do your wing liner, notice how there's a curve in your eye, and you just want to follow that curve right up. You don't want it to go straight out or down. You just want to follow the curve right up. So it should follow the shape of your eyeshadow as well. Alright, so wing liner is done. She's on there. She's a little bit thick. That's okay. Alright, I'm also going to put this right in my waterline. Alright, so the eyes are almost complete. I just filled in those water lines. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just put on some mascara and curl my lashes. Alright, so for mascara, I'm using my favorite mascara. I rave about this mascara, and I'm really picky about mascaras as well. So this is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. This makes my lashes look so long. I like the L'Oreal Paradise, Lash Paradise mascara, but this is even better. So I'm gonna quickly go off camera and do my mascara, and then I'll be right back. So I kind of bronze and contour in one step. It's more bronzing than contour. I just use a bronzer, and I just chisel out my cheekbones and do my forehead a little bit. My favorite bronzer that I use is this Morphe bronzer in the shade Debutante. And this is really pigmented, so you do want to go in with a light hand. So I'm going to take, this is the Firma brush 103. It's a angled brush for contouring. So I'm just going to dip in super lightly into this bronzer. Then I tap off the excess so it doesn't get too intense. So when I do this, I take my ear, and I like to draw like a line from here all the way straight down. So I start it at my ear, really lightly, just buffing that out, and then I go all the way down. And then once I do that, I'm going to take circular motions to blend that out. I'm just tapping into a little bit more, tapping off the excess. In this part, I like to pull my hair back so I can really get this like connected into the hairline. And I super lightly take circular motions, and I start on the forehead, and then I bring it all the way down to by my ear. So now I'm gonna bake just a little bit just to clean up this part and make my cheekbones just like more chiseled. So I'm gonna go back into my Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, and I'm dipping into some powder with my Morphe sponge. And I'm gonna do, like I said before, how you draw a line from your ear almost to your mouth. So I'm gonna stamp that right here, and then bring that all the way in, just like that. And for blush, my favorite blush, this is a drugstore blush. This is a drugstore blush. So this is the Milani Baked powder blush in the shade 05. It's this really pretty, like, corally peachy tone blush. So using a Farrah 50F brush, just this big fluffy brush, I'm just gonna tap into that, tapping off any excess. And then I'm just gonna like dab this on the apples of my cheeks, and then I brush it up just a little bit. So that's exactly how long I leave the pot around, and then I go and I dust it away. I just do my blush. I kind of diffuse out this line right here so it doesn't look super harsh. So the next step of my makeup routine, I'm just gonna give myself a spritz of setting spray first before I put highlighter on, and the reason for that is because it's gonna make your face wet and it's gonna make the highlighter stick to you a little bit more like of a wet highlight and not so like powdery. So I'm gonna spritz my face with my Morphe Jeffree Star setting powder or setting spray. Then I'm taking this Mata Pro BMX 265 glow brush right here. I have this Morphe highlighter palette, and it is the Stellar Impact 8S palette. I'm going to dip into the shade Ultraviolet. I'm just going to super lightly just go on the cheekbones. I go light first because I don't want it to get too intense. But it's super pretty. I'm just going to do a little bit on the nose, so I just barely hit the tip of my nose. Like that. And then I go right here on the bridge of my nose and hit just a little bit right there. And then I take the excess, tap it, and then what's ever left on the brush, I just do a little teeny tiny bit right there. I went in with the nude, and this is the Bare Minerals lipstick in the shade Sex Pot. This is not a matte finish, so if you want a matte finish, this one's not for you. But I really like it. It's very creamy and light and really nice. So now we really only have one step left, and that is to give ourselves a spritz. I hope you guys are all doing well in this quarantine. I know it really sucks with everything that's going on and all the craziness. But I hope you guys are managing and doing really well. Thank you guys for watching so much. I love you all. Mwah.